I'm James Ernest, and today we are playing Bulldog. Bulldog is a gambling game for the Blossom deck. Blossom deck is named after one of the suits. The flowers are also called blossoms. And it is a six-suited deck that's similar to the Island deck, except it has just the numbers ace through 9 in 6 suits that can be subdivided into day and night suits. The night suits are the ones with a dark background, the day suits are the ones with a light background. And day and night helps you cut the deck exactly in half for certain games. We don't need that for this, and you can make your own version of the Blossom deck to play Bulldog out of just the cards from 2 poker decks. I say that this game takes the place of poker in a fantasy universe. It doesn't really work anything like poker, but it does the same job. People get together around a table, they throw chips around, they take risks and make informed decisions, and sometimes that helps and sometimes it doesn't, and that's about as far as the similarity goes. I've got 5 players today. These are all Lego pirate ships: brown, red, white, gray, and I gave myself one too just so I didn't feel left out. This game is for 2 to 6 players. You can play with up to 8 players, although that can run out the deck. There's rules for reshuffling the discards when that happens. With 6 players, you can't run out of cards. We're going to start by dealing a hand of 4 cards to every player, and you're going to choose one of those cards as your card on the first round. From then on, you're going to start getting cards from the deck, but your first choice is which of your starting cards to play. We're going to be accumulating cards in front of us in what's called our board, and that face-up board is our final score. The lower score wins, the lowest score wins. Cards can cancel out. You can cancel cards from your hand. You can cancel out pairs that you are dealt from the deck. And so the goal is just to winnow all the cards you get back down to the smallest total on the table. Usually you pick your lowest card, although there's some other strategy that you'll sort of get as you play. My starting hand is 5, 4, 4, 7. I have a pair of 4s, which I want to break up, and I'll explain that in a bit too, but I'm definitely going to lead that 4. Aces are the low cards. They just count as a 1. So here's 3, 8, 8, 3. That's actually not a great hand. We'll see why as we go, but she's going to lead that 3. The red player has 4, 7, 4, 8. I'm kind of looking for an ace around here somewhere. There's an ace. All right, so white's going to lead the ace because it's her lowest card. And so is black. We'll see how that goes. The low card on the first round actually has to pay the ante for everybody. So as we reveal these together, we're going to see the 2 players led an ace, and that means they both have to pay the ante. That would be 1 coin for everyone, so the pot wants 5 coins. They don't have to both put in 5, but they have to put in enough so that there's 5 in there. So gray and white both contribute 3 coins. There's going to be a total of 6 coins in this starting pot. So that's the first card. After that, you're going to get cards from the deck one at a time. It doesn't really matter what order, who deals or what, because it is the rank of your up card, your most recent up card, that determines the order of play. I got a 2, that's the lowest up card. If anybody got a pair anywhere in their hand, those cards would cancel out. We'll probably see that later on. And on my turn now, I have to act. I have choices. I can either fold, get out of the game forever. I can pay money to stick around and preserve the cards in my hand, or I can spend the cards in my hand to get rid of some cards on my board. So I could spend a 4 to get rid of that 4 and save myself the $2 that it's going to cost me on this round to stay in. But every round gets more expensive. Round 3 is $3, round 4 is $4. Maybe I want to save that 4 and save myself some money later on. So I'm going to go ahead and pay $2 to save my cards and stick around. The next card is the 3 of foxes. The white player could cancel that 3, like I said before, but she's going to save that money too and stick around, pay her money. The 6 is next, 3, 8, 8. A 3 could cancel the 3. It was nice to split up those 3s, and brown kind of hates her hand, so she's actually going to do that. You spend the card, you throw away the card, and you cancel the matching card in your board. These canceled cards stay face down. They're called pace cards. We're just using them to count what round we're on. They're not really in your hand, but we just want to remember that we're on round 2. The next card is red with her 8. She's got 7, 7, 8. She could cancel that 8, but she thinks she's going to stick around and maybe do that 8 later, so she pays $2 to stick around. And ace 9 for the gray ship. She's got 8, 5, 5. She could actually pay these 10 points to get rid of these 10 points. 5 and 5 is 10, ace and 9 is 10. So yeah, she's going to do that. She throws away both 5s. They add up exactly to 10, so does this ace and this 9, so she's actually got no cards left face up. So that was round 2. Round 3, we're all going to get one more card. 6, 7, 4, 8, 5, ace 3, gray gets a 9, and 4, 2 gets a 6. The low card here is the 5 of bells, and so red's going to make a decision. Is it getting time to get rid of some cards? Yes, she's going to spend an 8 to flat this 8. Flatting is what it's called when it gets turned off. Now we have 2 6s. We have to break this tie by suits. Bells is lower than tomatoes. I'll put the full suit ranking here. It's almost alphabetical, but not quite. There's a logic to it that you can read in the index. But anyway, 6 of bells is going to go. She's got 7, 8, 3, and why not? Let's throw away that 3 to save some money and cancel this 3. I'm the next 6. I've got 4, 2, 6 on the board, and I've got 5, 7, 4 in my hand. What can I do with that? I could play the 4 to get rid of the 4, so I'll do that and save myself some money. The next player is 6, 7. She's just got a pair of 8s, which, as I have been mentioning, is a pretty terrible hand. She can stick around. Sticking around with a hand you should fold is called bulldogging, hence the name of the game. And that is also the nickname for a hand you should fold. So she's going to hold on to her bulldog for one more round or just get rid of it. It's time to get rid of it. She's out. And last is our 9, and she doesn't have a lot of cards left, and it's an 8. That's just a terrible situation too. So we're down to 3 players. All right, now round 4. 4, 5 gets a 4. Ace 6 gets an ace. Deuce 6 gets a tray. Both of these players got pairs in their hands, and those cards are going to cancel out and disappear. It does not mean that their hands are blank. If your hand is totally blank, you don't even have to act on the round. But their old up cards become their new up cards again. So now I'm a 3, and then a 5, and then a 6. I should be able to do something with deuce 6, 3. Yeah, I can get rid of the 2 and the 3 by playing a 5. So I'm going to do that. And that's my action for the round. Next on the 5, red has got a pair of 7s, but she kind of likes her hand for some reason, so she's going to stick around. It's round 4, so the price is $4. I'm going to put in a 5 and take out a 1. And white still has a couple cards left. 7, 8, looking at a 6. All hands are all kind of equal right now, so she's going to pay that money too. Stick around. Let's take a look at round 5. 7, 9, 9. Oh, those are all awful, awful hands. The low card is the 7 of owls. 5 and 7 says, oh, I've got a 7 for that 7. So she throws away 1 7, gets herself down to 5 points. The earlier 9 is mine, the arrowheads. I have a 7, and just my hopes of winning this hand are so low. I have to fold. That's going to save me a lot of money. What about 6, 9 on white? 7 plus 8 is the same as 6 plus 9, so she's going to throw away the rest of her hand and fly blind into the last round with no cards up. The round 6, 5 gets a deuce, white gets a deuce. So this is, I think, the most interesting part in the game, where the player with the lowest score has to act first. And decide whether she thinks that she will win, whether the other player can cancel out the cards they have left. Red only has 1 card left. We know what it is, but white doesn't. So she's going to say, fine, I'm going to quit. What do they say? They say, find your sticks and pay your 6. It means stop complaining about a good situation to put your money in the pot. So unable to cancel any of this, she is going to put $6 in the pot to try to be the winner. But we see, look at this, red's got a 7 down, so she can actually cancel the 5 and the 2, and that means her board is 0 versus a board of 2. Red wins the pot, and that's the end of the hand. Let's play another one. All right, I'm going to shuffle the deck and deal a hand of 4 cards to each player, and from that starting hand, we're going to choose 1 card to start our board. This is an interesting starting hand. I've got 3 6s and an 8. Let's see how long I last. These are all chosen in secret. They're played face down. They're all revealed at the same time. I'm just going to save a little time by playing all these right side up. 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's big cards. Let's see. White's hand has a 2 anyway. It's nice to lead a low card because you want your final hand to have the lowest value. And you want to keep the high cards in your hand to cancel out high cards you might get later. All right, all these cards are played. They're revealed at the same time. the low card has to pay the ante for everyone. The first round of 1 coin each is paid by whoever played the low card. And if there was a tie for that, then they would both have to contribute enough to build the pot. So if 2 players needed to make a $5 pot, they each have to put in $3. But in this case, Gray has played the lowest card, the ace, and so she has to put in the whole 5. Now from now on, we're going to be getting new cards from the deck. Cards from the deck can cancel out cards in our boards. Cards from our hands can cancel out cards in our boards. And the goal at the end of the hand is to just have the lowest value in our board. All right, so deuce gets an ace, 6 gets a 3, deuce gets a 3, ace gets a 6, 6 gets a 3. We're going to act in ascending order of top card, the most recent card that got dealt to us, so the ace is first. And you have 3 choices on your turn. You may either fold, getting out of the hand. You may pay the round number. You may pay, in this case, $2 because it's round 2 to stay alive. Or you can cancel out a card or more cards in your board by playing cards from your hand. This is an ace and a 2 in the board, and everything I have is bigger than that total. So Brown cannot do anything about her cards except just pay the money. She's going to pay the money to stick around. We have a 3-way tie for 3s here. So the arrowheads is the first 3, the lowest 3. 6 and 3 can be canceled by 9, but red is going to hold on to her cards and pay the money instead because on round 2 it's only $2. I'm next with bells. I told you my hand, I didn't like my hand very much, and I'm going to spread this over here so you can see the cards better. I don't want to pay a lot of money to play this hand. I'm going to pay as little as I can, and so I'm just going to cancel one of my cards instead of paying the money. I'm going to spend a 6 to flat a 6. Flatting means turning it off. And really, this face down card is not in my hand anymore, but I keep it as a pace card so that we can track how many rounds we have played. Obviously, everyone has those cards, but everyone was throwing stuff away, we might lose track. All right, so I played a 6 to avoid paying money. The last 3 is white. She could cancel both of those cards with a 5, so that's what she's going to do. 5 pays for the 2 and the 3. The 5 gets thrown away. The 2 and the 3 stay face down. And then the last player is Gray with the 6. She's got an ace and a 6 up. And her down cards are 7, 5, 4. The 7 can cancel the ace and the 6. But she's also going to hold out and maybe save herself a little money on later rounds. So this is the pot now. Next round. Ace 2 gets an ace. When you get a pair anywhere in your hand, they get shut off automatically. So those aces go away. And her top card is now a 2. 6, 3 gets a 3. Same story here. Her top card is now a 6. 2 blank cards, so that's going to be a 4. Ace 6 gets a 5. And 3 gets a 2. The lowest card is the 2 of arrowheads. That's me. I have a 6 and an 8. I've committed not to spend any more money on this game, so I'm just going to fold. I mean, I do have kind of a low hand, but I don't like what I'm holding. I don't like what's coming. I'm going to fold. I don't owe any more money. I can get out. The next lowest card is this 2. Brown is going to say, well, I like my hand and I have 3 cards left, and so I'm going to pay the money. Pays $3 into the pot. The 4 on white has an 8 and a 7 down. White is going to make the mistake of sticking around, so white pays $3 as well. Gray is next with a 5 up and a 7, 5, 4 down. Gray is going to throw away a 5 to cancel that 5 that she just got. And red has a 6 up and 7, 8, 9 down. So, I mean, those are powerful cards, but I mean, they can cancel a lot of points, but those points have to be equally big. She's going to pay $3. Bulldog a little bit. Here comes card number 4. Deuce gets a 7, 6 gets a 5, 4 gets a 9, ace 6 gets a 3. No cancellations automatically here. We're going to go by top card. The lowest top card is this 3 on Gray. Gray can now do herself some good. She's going to throw away this 7 to get rid of the 6 and the ace. The next low card is the 5. Well, 6 and 5 is 11. We're not quite up to spending these cards yet, so now it's a $4 round. She's going to spend $4, put in a 5, take out a 1. Brown has a 7, which she can just cancel, so let's do that. 7 pays for 7, so Brown's not paying any money this round. And the last player is white with the 9 up. 8 and 7 is 15, 9 and 4 is 13. There's really no way to make these add up to the same number. So she can pay $4 or leave. She'll pay $4. Let's see what happens. Round 5. Deuce gets a deuce. Those flat out immediately. And when your hand is completely blank like this, you don't have to act at all in the round. You don't pay anything, you don't discard anything, you don't have to fold. That is the best possible hand in this version of the game anyway. 5 gets an ace, 4, 9 gets a 4. Those are going to cancel out too, and the 3 gets a 5. So because the 4 is canceled out, white's new top card is 9. The lowest top card is this ace. And red is going to say, at last, finally, I can play a card that actually does something. She is going to play the 7 to get rid of the ace and the 6. Gray has a 3 and a 5, just a 4 in her hand. That's pretty awful, but she's going to spend $5 to stay alive. And now white, looking at a 9, has an 8 and a 7 down. That's also pretty awful. No, I think neither of these players should have stayed in, but we're going to do that anyway. And brown is going to get a deuce. That's a very nice hand. Red gets a 9. White gets another 9. And that's what she was praying for. 9 cancels 9. And she's got a nice empty hand there. And then gray gets a deuce on that 3-5. So white's going to win this unless anyone else can cancel out their own cards and like split the pot with her. The lowest 2 is the fox. Foxes are lower than owls. That should make some sense. But with a 4 and a 5 down, there's no way to make this into a 0 hand. So she folds. The next 2 is gray. She can play a 4, but the 3-5-2, she can't do anything with that, so that's not enough to get her to 0. And 5 and 9, well, red can play this 9, but she's still got 5 points up, and so the pot's going to go to white because white got super lucky. So that's how you play Bulldog. I hope you'll enjoy it. You can make your own deck out of some poker decks, or you can order the Blossom deck from us. We sell a really nice version of this on Drive-Thru Cards. And we also have a version of it that you can print and play if you'd like to make your own cards at home. However you choose to play, we hope you will enjoy it, and send us your feedback. We're always working on this game and adding new variations and other ways to play. Thanks for watching. I'm James Ernest from Fragment Labs, and I will see you at the table. Fragment Labs is kind of my experimental game design workshop. I put up articles, I put up fresh new games, variations of old games, and videos about where I'm going and what I'm doing, and videos like this one. And a lot of the stuff that I make is absolutely free. You can download, print and play it if you like to do that. You can print on demand it. You can order it from Drive-Thru Cards if there's a game you particularly like. And a lot of the games like Bulldog and the Blossom deck, you can fake it up with regular poker cards. That's how we build these games to start with. The Blossom deck is fairly new, but we've already got a couple of good games with this. And all of our other decks, we just keep adding games to those catalogs as we develop more. In any case, if you like what we're doing, you can support us on Patreon. You can support us by buying our merch or our products, or even just watching our videos on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, click a like here and there, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. I'm James Ernest from Fragment Labs, and I will see you at the table.